Good afternoon to everyone. So today we'll study about diffusion controlled drug delivery system. Okay, so in last class we have studied about dissolution controlled drug delivery system. So what is the difference between mainly diffusion and dissolution? We know that. So whatever the material will be there, so that will be completely dissolved means, so that is called as dissolution, right? So there we are making a matrix dissolution system and encapsulation dissolution system, right? So in both we are using polymers. In the dissolution system, so that polymer get completely dissolved. Okay, so completely rupture or completely dissolved. So then only whatever the drug will be there, so it will be coming outside and it will be showing its action. Okay, but in case of diffusion system, these polymers will not get dissolved. It will not get rupture. Okay, so with the help of pores, diffusion mechanism will be taking place. Okay, so that is the difference. So we know that what is diffusion. So when the drug molecules move from the region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration until it get equilibrium, that is called as diffusion, right? Okay, so what is rate controlling step here means the diffusion of dissolved drug through polymeric barrier or rate controlling membrane. Okay, so that is rate controlling step. So nothing but in a dissolution, the rate controlling step is when the polymeric membrane or the rate controlling membrane ruptured and the drug is released. When the polymeric membrane is dissolved or ruptured, so that is rate controlling step in a dissolution system. Okay, but here in a diffusion system, the diffusion of drug through polymeric barrier. Okay, so here the rupturing case will be not there. So only diffusion, that movement of drug particle from the polymeric barrier or rate controlling polymeric membrane, that is called as rate controlling step. Okay, so here no energy required, so no need to put more energy to cause diffusion mechanism. The drug molecules diffuse from a region of higher concentration to the lower concentration until equilibrium is attained. So that is the definition of diffusion. It's directly proportional to the concentration gradient across the membrane. Okay, so it is depends mainly upon the concentration difference between the higher and the lower, what will be there, the region. Okay, and here also we can observe two types, matrix diffusion system and reservoir diffusion system. Okay, so there we have observed that matrix dissolution system and encapsulation dissolution system, right? Here matrix and reservoir. Okay, so here you can observe diagram. So reservoir and matrix diffusion system will be there. Okay, okay, a reservoir, in a reservoir system, so in the outside the blue color you can observe, so that is polymeric rate controlling membrane. So polymer coat will be there. Okay, and inside that core particle, the drug particle will be there in a dissolved form. Okay, in a soluble form. Okay, so that is at time 0. Okay, so before contact into dissolution fluid. So after contacting with the dissolution fluid at time t, what happens? From the that coating material, from the rate controlling polymeric membrane, so whatever the drug particle will be there, right, it will be diffused out. Okay, with the that concentration gradient. Okay, it will be start to move across the from the higher region to the lower region concentration until to get equilibrium. So that is reservoir. So just here coated layer will be there. So that is called as rate controlling membrane. But in case of matrix, here you can observe, here not coated layer will be there. The complete drug particle is embedded or dispersed in a polymeric membrane. Okay, and at time t, so whatever the drug particle will be there, so it will start to move or start to diffuse from that polymeric matrix. So that is diffusion, similar to that of dissolution, but here only that polymeric coating layer or the polymeric matrix will not get ruptured. That's it. Okay, so study what is matrix diffusion system. Okay, so in a matrix diffusion system, see here we can observe two types. Only in a diffusion we can observe two types. In a dissolution only one matrix. Okay, here we can observe two types, that is soluble matrix diffusion system and non-soluble matrix diffusion system. Okay, what is soluble means, in a soluble matrix system we are using hydrophilic polymers. Okay, so that polymer, when it will be contact with the water or a fluid, it will absorb the water and start to swell in size. So whatever the surface of the polymer will be there at, it will swell in nature. Due to that swelling nature, the pores whatever will be there at, it will enlarge. Okay, so due to that enlarging nature, the drug can easily diffuse from the higher to lower region. Okay, so that is swellable. But in case of non-swellable, so there we are not using hydrophilic polymers. Okay, the whatever the polymer we are using, right, that itself is having more nothing but high pore size. Okay, so due to that porous nature of polymer, drug easily can diffuse from the higher to lower region. So that is a difference. I'll explain you. So what is swellable? So it is also called as glassy hydrogels. It is popular for sustaining the release of highly water soluble drugs. Okay, so glassy hydrogel. So they may ask for 2 marks. Write a note on glassy hydrogels or what is glassy hydrogel. Okay, so you have to write about this soluble matrix diffusion with this diagram. Okay, so why it is called as glassy hydrogel means see, when the polymer or you have observed, I guess, agar and tragacanth, when it will be swelling, right? So you can see that gel nature, right? It is very transparent jelly system you can observe when tragacanth or agar is swell, right? So due to that transparent character, it is called as glassy hydrogel. Okay, because it is very transparent and the nature of that transparency, it is almost similar to the glass. Okay, so due to that nature, this soluble matrix diffusion also called as glassy hydrogels. Okay, it will be jelly property. It is consisting of jelly property. Okay, and it is popular for sustaining the release of highly water soluble drugs. Okay, so some of the drug will be there very easily soluble in water, which is comes under class 1 drug, highly soluble in nature. Okay, for that type of drug we have to sustain the release of drug. Okay, we have to delay or we have to prolong the rate of drug delivery. Okay, so in that time we can use this soluble matrix diffusion system. How means, see, when you are using this system, it take more time. Okay, it should contact with the dissolution fluid, it will absorb the that sorry, it should absorb the fluid. After that absorbing nature, whatever the surface will be there sorry, after absorbing the surface of the polymer, it should get enlarged, it should get swell, and after that pore size should enlarge, then only drug drug diffuses from higher to lower concentration. So all this process take more time compared to dissolution system. Okay, so that's why when we have to formulate sustained drug delivery system, so we can use this soluble matrix diffusion system, especially in case of highly water soluble drugs. Okay, and the materials used are hydrophilic gums, okay, such as natural polymers like guar gum and tragacanth, semi-synthetic polymers like HPMC, CMC, xanthan gum, and the synthetic polymers like polyacrylamides we can use. Okay, and these are all having hydrophilic nature. Example for this system: glucotrol XL and Procordia XL. Okay, and the release of highly water soluble drug can be sustained by using soluble matrix system. So in this diagram you can observe. So first diagram, the first big system is, so that is before contacting into the dissolution fluid, so whatever the drug particle will be there, it is completely dispersed or embedded within the swellable polymeric membrane. Okay, so that is matrix. Okay, so once it is come into contact with the dissolution fluid or water system means what happens? So whatever the outer surface will be there, right, that matrix, so it will start to swell in nature. So that double layer you can observe, and that is similar to the glassy property. Okay, so it is very transparent nature. Okay, so after that, the whatever the pores will be there, so it will be enlarged in size. So then the core particle, the drug particle will be diffuses from outer to inside to outer side. So this is soluble matrix diffusion system. Okay, and the next is non-soluble matrix diffusion system. So here we are not using the hydrophilic polymers. So mainly we are using here plastic polymers, okay, or fatty materials we are using. Okay, so these are having very high pores. Okay, so due to that high pores, whatever the drug will be there, it can easily diffuses from inside to outer side. Okay, an insoluble matrix such as PVC, polyvinyl chloride, and fatty materials like stearic acid, beeswax, etc. are used. The drug is generally needed within the solution of plastic material such as PVC in an organic solvent and granulated. Okay, so nothing but here we are using mainly fatty materials or plastic materials, okay, which is insoluble in water and it is very porous in nature. Okay, and how we can formulate means the both. Okay, so sorry, this non-soluble matrix means, so we can take drug and the solution of PVC. Okay, the solution of any plastic material. Okay, the both will be kneaded vigorously. Kneaded means mixed. Okay, so mixture. So when we are two solid particle we are mixing, right? So like that only here the solution and the drug particle we are kneading, mixing properly. Okay, with the inner presence of organic solvent, any one type of organic solvent. We can take ethanol or methanol or benzene. So any one type of organic solvent we can take. Okay, and after that complete kneading, okay, so we have to granulate, and after that granulation we can punch into as a tablet. Okay, so this is the one preparation method, or else with the help of beeswax, with the help of fatty material we have to formulate it means. So similarly, so how we have prepared the dissolution system, right? We have to melt the wax first. Okay, to that molten wax we have to add the drug particle and vigorously we have to mix it by congealing method. Okay, so then the polymer cross linking will be held. So due to that proper mixing will be occurring. So this is about non-soluble matrix diffusion. Okay, so here you can observe insoluble polymeric matrix will be there. So inside that the complete drug particle is embedded, and when it will be come into contact with the dissolution fluid, so this drug particle will be start to diffuse from inside to outside. Okay, so only one thing is, in a swellable we are using soluble polymer, sorry, not soluble polymer, hydrophilic polymer, which will swell in nature when it will be come into contact with the water. So due to that pore size will increase. Okay, but in case of non-swellable matrix, here insoluble very porous polymeric membrane we are using. Okay, it will not get swell and it is not hydrophilic polymer. Okay, so due to that high pore size only diffusion will occur. So that is the difference. I hope you got. Any doubt will be there, you can ask. Okay, thank you.